a lot of things to talk about, a lot of videos to make about finally the half anniversary on Trickcal and what we have gotten. So let's talk a little bit on this video only about Ed and if it's worth pulling for her or not. I'll make a separate video going over the aside system, how it fully works. But the TLDR, if you don't want to watch the whole video, obviously, Eldin, you should be pulling. Every single Eldin banner, it's worth pulling, alright? That's a TLDR. That said, let's jump into this video as usual. Hello there, guys. Welcome back to Waifus. I'm Sefhi, your favorite gambling addict, and today's topic is going to be Ed. Now, for some reference, I got her to 5 stars to the aside, the yearning level 2. 999k combat power, almost 1 million. I got her to rank 8 gear plus 5 from some of the gear. I think I can get this, so she gets to 1 mil combat power. Not really even worth getting more of the gear up, to be honest, but whatever. Yes, 1 million combat power, there we go. So it looks a little bit better on the picture for the thumbnail. And I am absolutely broke on Puffaron's skills. 10, 10, 14. We'll talk about skill levels later, but now you can go up to 15, not 14, 15. Once again, related to the aside. I got her first board here, and I opened the second because its good stats is HP and its attack. They are good. I have enough crayons now for this from the bingo. Attack and HP are always welcome, and even normal defense is also always welcome as well. So pretty good. The second board, decent first board with attack and then some defense as well. Pretty nice board. The worst part she has, before we talk about her kit and her skills, is the 8 club. As usual, awful, fucking awful. Gross sap, wet paper clay, and some honey. There are reasons to be actually using her for the A club, right? That's it. Let's talk a little bit about this and how she's playing on the current meta for the Compose team. Compose has become probably close to the strongest team. Obviously, when we're competing with Jomi, it's really hard to compete with her, but they have one of the most solid teams, if not the most solid team, because they have a fantastic tank like it's Ed with the aside. You have Elena and Aya to do damage, which is AoE, destroying everything. And you have your Picora to keep everyone healthy, Amelia to apply the debuffs and apply the electrocution and all of those nice stuff. And then you have a last spot you can fill with whatever you need. More heals, you have Meluna. Single target damage, you have Scylla. More damage overall, you can put Trickcal. You need more utility for a boss. You could be instead putting your SP if she's built, right? You can even be running double tank if you wanted. So this is at the moment one of the strongest, if not the strongest team we have in the game. Ed comes at the moment where obviously Velvet is not a fantastic tank. She has a lot of issues surviving, right? A lot of issues surviving. So it was like a no-brainer that the Eldin was gonna be replacing her, and her kit, it's really, really good. So starting with her passive. At the start of the wave, applies invincible on herself for a set period of time. 6.9 seconds level 14. Max level 15, it's a 7.2 seconds. So you have more than enough time to be using skills on her, for her to use her freshman, and for people to start doing damage and healing her and everything, right? Really good. She also becomes immune to blindfold, but outside of PvP and specific enemies, don't really care too much. Then she also has her freshman skill, Blur Divide. Ed casts a shield for herself and applies protection to all allied apostles, excluding herself. This effect activates up to 2 types. Protection negates incapacitating direct damage and grants a shield. So she applies a shield to herself and to allies. Now, this is really good to keep your team alive when there is annoying enemies. Not only that, but this is a character that automatically one of the best items you can put on her is going to be the Grail, just for the extra shield. 90% increased shield at max level if you have it at max level, obviously. This is a fantastic item for her, if not the best item. This is the first tank that I had no issue surviving without the leads item, because she gets that immortality at the beginning, that invincibility, right? So you are pretty safe until you can proc skills and do everything, but still leads item is the best item for any tank in the game, right? So really good passive, really good freshman skill. If you can get these two to level 12, they are really good. The problem is that this level 12 to 15 are super expensive, like super expensive. More than 1 million gold and more than 100 or 200 of these resources of the epic ones. So it's gonna be getting expensive moving forward, and this only applies more importance to focusing on one personality for free-to-plays, maybe two, depending on what you're doing, right? But for the most part, you want to be focusing on one or two personalities. And speaking of resources for this, there is also new stages on the dungeon. So on both the sugar-free stages, you have new ones, and also on the gold thief attack, you have new stages. I think there is nowhere else. If there is new stages somewhere else, do let me know in the comments and we can pin it or leave a like or whatever it is, right? So that's for her freshman. For her passive, her senior skill simply deals AoE magic damage and reduces SP on the enemies. SP reduction is always pretty good, it's always welcome, but there is less priority for this because it's a 38-second cooldown. It's still pretty nice, right? It's still pretty nice, but less priority for this. She can deal decent-ish damage. It's not a damage dealer by enemies. And then her normal attack, after receiving direct damage 9 times, deals AoE magic damage to enemies, recovers her own HP, and reduces attack of enemies that also take damage from that AoE. So this is pretty nice. It's a really powerful enhance. Obviously, it's 9 times you have to proc it, or sorry, 9 times you need to get hit, but it still helps her a lot survive. Now, that is her base kit. We also have to start talking on future character reviews about the yearning system. I'll make a separate video going over this, but for this video, the only thing we care about is the second the second passive. When enhanced attack is used, so every 9 direct hits she receives, increases her defense for a set period of time. When freshman skill is used, additionally grants a shield to the ally with the lowest remaining HP ratio. Recovers the SP of allies with protection activated. So it's applying the extra shield, it's applying the defense increase, and it's also doing SP recovery. It's a really strong side passive because yes, sure, it's not only working for her or to keep her alive longer, but it's also helping your team staying alive longer, right? Which for most situations is good. If there is assassins, if there is snipers on the other team, on PvE and PvP, it's a pretty powerful aside skill. Should free-to-play spool for asides? No. No. You should do 200 pulls, let's say. Some people will get 5 ads in 200 pulls, or you could be like me. I did 500 pulls and I got 2. Free-to-play should grab a copy of it, of each Eldin in the game. Slowly over time, you will build the asides. But this is not something a free-to-play should be, in my opinion, pulling for because it's just too expensive. Who is calling me? Oh, one second for this. Alright, so like I was saying, 100% I will say a copy is worth it. The 5 stars, the aside, it's something is gonna be long-term, just like the boards, just like getting everyone in your account. All of the systems are long-term, and I just cannot tell a free-to-play, yeah, sure, go pull fucking 9 copies of the character to max them out. Like, nah. Even less so on an Eldin banner, right? Even less so when we're getting more asides next week for Momo and also for Bibi. So a really strong character. We can also talk a little bit about her card. I'll make a separate video going over it when we keep testing more, but at the first glance, this is a fantastic card, mostly for raids. In campaign it can be used, but it's pretty expensive. 36 cost, it reduces incoming damage of front row allies by 15%, and if they are tanks, increases defense by 20% at level 1. At 1 star. At level 3, as you can see, is 26%. At level 9 is 29%. It's like a 32%, 31% at max level for the defense. I wouldn't recommend going for dupes on this card because it's pretty expensive just for the increase in defense, if that makes sense, right? And even the 3-star for Ed, it only gives her HP recovery 30% increase. So I wouldn't really bother going for dupes. A copy, if you can, is really good. Don't go for dupes. And also the passive for Ed herself is that if she is deployed in the lineup, everyone gets max HP increase, right? And also recovers SP for herself and nearby allies for 5 seconds. So it's a pretty good card, once again, but 1 copy is more than enough. I wouldn't be going for dupes at all, at least for this. I don't think there's anything else regarding Ed that we need to really talk about. I mean, we could be talking about a little bit on the tier list, obviously. She's not yet on the website because I just finished the stream and I'm making this video, but she's going to be a T1 character, no problem. Borderline T0, because these asides are going to be so strong until everyone gets asides, right? It's an advantage. Even the combat power is an advantage. Having an aside is giving her way more combat power than the same thing that my that my Epica has, like 3-4 pieces at +5, similar level. Well, this is 115 versus 125, but it's like a 300k extra combat power just because of that aside, right? So it's gonna be an advantage for all of these characters. I will not have a separate tier list for asides or non-asides because I will not be able to keep track of both versions. The moment you unlock an aside, it's unlocked, right? So I will never be able to, okay, how is Ed without the aside doing it right now, because I cannot check it. So we will have the tier list based on the asides always, right? If that character has an aside, it will be assumed on the tier list that it's because of that. She will be a T1, maybe a T0 character. We'll see where we decide to put her later. Fantastic character, and Velvet will be going down 1 tier because, well, the Dork was only here because there was no other option. The other character that will be going up, most likely, it's Momo next week. When the aside releases, we'll be moving her up to T1, but not yet. When the aside releases, and we see what's going on with that, right? Because we cannot see, sadly, what it will be doing. It's not unlocked here. Maybe if someone that data mines it, we can see what's going on. That said, that's basically everything. A little bit for the first impressions on Ed and how she's performing. She is one of the strongest tanks in the game at the moment, if not the strongest. I will say Ed is on top of Vivi and Chloe simply because of the aside and the extra combat power it provides. Is a lot of personal stats because you can also level up these asides, right? And it's giving her so many stats. So I would say she's probably right now a little bit of an advantage because of the aside. Then it's Vivi and Chloe, and then you have like all of the other tanks that are sadly not LDs, right? And they cannot compete with this eternal life waifus. That's it. Enough ranting, enough jumping. That's everything for this Ed first impressions, Ed review, whatever you want to call it. We'll talk about the card in depth on the next video, and we'll talk about all of the other systems as well. Today you guys will get 3-4 videos going over the bingo and going over a couple extra systems as well. That's it. Enough jumping, enough ranting. Good luck with your pool, nerds, and I'll see you in the next video.